Hello, guys. How are you guys doing? Today is March 11th, 2025. So I wanted to talk about right now we are living in an age of abundance, and it's a problem because the more there is abundance, uh, there will be more dependency on those things. So today I want to make the video title "What Goes Up Must Come Down." And a lot of people are not happy with their lives because, we have so many things, so many great things right now, but then we're still not happy. Why is that? Why were our parents more happy back then, even though there were scarce, more scarcity? So it all depends on the dopamine deficiency because we're constantly triggering our dopamine to release in our brain. That's why we end up uh, being addicted. And many people are suffering from addiction because of this. A lot of people, most of the people in this world, are addicted to shopping, like drugs, like cigarettes, alcohol, or even prescribed medicines like Concerta or Adderall. I forgot the other ADHD medicine. And like social media, people are addicted to social media like Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Like all these things are actually addictions, right? They said like Instagram is actually supposed to mimic like a like a slot machine in like Las Vegas. So, a new feed, new thing comes up, a new thing updated, right? So these things are very addictive, right? We might not think so. I'm gonna do it for like just like a couple minutes and that's it. But usually you'll like spend your whole morning on your bed scrolling on Instagram or on YouTube, and an hour, 2 hour passes. What else is addictive? Food. Food is very addictive. People are really addicted to food, but actually addicted to like sugar and salt and salty food and all these other chemicals that are added to the food, additives, right? And what else people are addicted to? Uh, physical things such as sex and like um other physical things, maybe even working out, right? Can be addictive. So you might feel good for that moment, but when the dopamine is drained from that pleasure, from too much pleasure, you don't feel good anymore. Just like, I don't know for you guys, but for me, when I eat McDonald's, it tastes really good for that moment. But after I eat McDonald's, my stomach kind of feels weird, like kind of really weird, like kind of sick, right? Um, this is also why people are adrenaline junkies because usually they need to feel the rush, just as the same as the feeling as they felt the rush before. So like jumping off airplanes, roller coaster rides, right? So continuously experiencing these adrenaline rushes will get you numb. And withdrawal from these kind of drug addictions, food addictions, alcohol, medicine, whatever, right? Or drugs, it can cause anxiety, irritability, insomnia, and dysphoria. So these things can happen to you. So ultimately, our bodies and brains, they can restore homeostasis where the 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 hormones are balanced out, but it takes time for it to be balanced out so you can feel normal again. You'll be happy just by watching like, some normal video or is doing normal activities like eating or like taking a walk when there's sun outside, and you'll feel happy, you'll feel more happy, you'll feel normal again because your hormones are balanced out. So what happens when you take away the phone from a baby who have been watching for like a whole year, who have been used to it? The baby will cry when the phone is gone. Right? Give me my phone back. Give me my show back. My video, YouTube, whatever. So this is really an addiction that has been imprinted in us, which needs to be fixed. So how do you kind of detox from these kind of addictions? Take off from the things. Take time off. Take some time off from the things you think for sure you're addicted to. This will reset your brain. This will reset your brain. And also, abstinence is necessary to restore homeostasis. You need to refrain from using those um, substances or whatever you do that you're addicted to. Try a day first and then go for a week, right? But it might be very difficult, but it takes up to 4 weeks to reset the reward center of your brain. They say 4 weeks. Then you are totally, I don't need that substance anymore, right? You kind of don't remember it, and your body don't remember the pleasure anymore. So the pain and pleasure is like a seesaw. The more pain you have, the more pleasure will be restored, right? So and like exercise, the more exercise, harder you push yourself to the exercise to work out, that's pain, right? You don't want to exercise that much, but some people want to, right? But the more extra hard work or exercise that you do, the pleasure will be restored, right? So the more pain, more gain, more pleasure, right? Also, the more pleasure you have on the other side of the spectrum, the more pleasure you have, the more pain will be stored, right? So the more pleasure you have, the more pain will come after. An example, alcohol. So enjoy the pain of stopping your addiction, right? Enjoy the pain of not doing what you usually do. Try going a day without your medicine. Try going a day without that cigarette or that alcohol or that drug of choice or that thing that you really want to do. Usually people are actually also addicted to games, also addicted to shopping, like coupon, and people are also addicted to ordering food online because they don't want to make the food in their house, right? So enjoy the pain of stopping your addiction. Enjoy the pain. You gotta enjoy that pain. You kind of psycho? Nah. But you gotta actually be able to, wow, you did a really good job, man. You did a really good job not falling into that addiction. You're really you leveled up, right? And another next method is to reflect on yourself. Reflect on myself. See how and what I am feeling. How and what am I feeling right now? Right? What am I feeling about uh right? How do I look at myself doing these things over and over again? Uh how do I feel? Right? Do I feel good? Do I feel okay? Do I feel anxious? Do I feel embarrassed? You got to be able to examine yourself, be able to check yourself, right? And see what am I see also see what I am thinking about and don't reject it, but accept it as yourself, right? All right, I'm doing this right now, but that is myself, right? Don't feel like you're so worthless, right? You're can't believe you broke your own promise to yourself, right? So some people they can't really control their thoughts, so they end up thinking about something disgusting at sometimes, something really disgusting, something really crazy, something psychotic, and possibly something that could be bloody, like someone's like, you know, head getting like, dismembered or arms get dismembered, like these imaginations. I don't know if you saw uh the movie The Final Destination, right? It's just like something just like inevitably bad is going to happen, and people, and it does happen, and it's like you remember watching that movie, you remember that movie even after you finish watching it. So those, psychotic memories and like crazy things, right? This you gotta see. Don't reject it, but just look at it, observe yourself, observe what you were thinking, and be able to examine it, right? Just see, okay, this is me. I'm thinking about these crazy thoughts. All right. Now, what am I going to do? Am I going to really be able to see this and accept it and stop myself? Don't think about these things. Right? All right, these things happen, but don't like punish yourself for it. You know what I mean? Don't punish yourself for thinking these things. It can happen. It's natural because it might not even be your thoughts. So you might even see ghosts or hear things that are not even there, right? Some people that I met, they think that they're hearing some other people that they don't even know, like in a cafe, and he thinks like they're talking about him, right? And this is like paranoia to the max. But yeah, some people even hear that, and but then try to observe what I'm thinking and examine it, right? And try to see what's so bad about it, right? Some people might see demons or like or ghosts or whatever, but what's so bad about it? You see it, what is it gonna do to you, right? Remember who you are. You're a child of God. So even if you see those things, even if you think of these things, that is not you. It's possibly, most likely, Satan or evil spirits giving you those thoughts. Also, the problem might not be me, but the product that I am consuming, right? Remember, I talked about imprints. So the products that I am consuming, an example like movies, music, people's opinions, uh, things that happened as you're living your daily lives, and those bad things that happen, you're remembering those things, right? But then it's the product that I am consuming, even food, right? Even the bad food. Um, so always try to remember that and control your pleasure by enjoying suffering. This might be a little difficult thing, but bind yourself, right? Bind yourself. Just, put yourself on like, yeah. Do not let yourself do anything that will harm you. Is this going to harm me? I am not going to do it because I'm precious, right? You got to know you are precious. Some people know that they're precious, but in their deep thoughts, they think they're worthless. That's why some people cut themselves on their wrist, right? There's some people that are really, they take care of themselves uh in other ways, but but sometimes they look at themselves like you're worthless, and then they kind of harm themselves in other ways, like taking medicine, taking drugs, or cutting themselves, or putting I don't know about tattoos, but psychologically it is kind of, it is harming yourself. um so bind yourself, right? And also be a little masochistic, which means enjoy the pain. Enjoy that pain. Just think a little differently. That pain is good. Why? Because the more you pain you have, the more pain you experience, the more pleasure it will come later. And also move your body more. Exercise, go out, go look at the sun. Go when the sun is out, right? Go walk around the block, right? Don't be uh just standing, just sitting in your room, right? Um Also have less leisure time. Have less free time. So more work in your schedule, more work time in your schedule will help you get get away from those kind of addictions and those thoughts. Enjoy working. So stay busy, okay? Stay busy. Try to constantly work at something, do something, right? Challenge. Also, what you eat is very important. So no artificial sugar. Sugar is really bad. Really, really, it's the worst, worst of worst, that things that we can put in our mouths, except for fruits. Why? Because fruits have fiber, which negates the sugars. So because the fiber helps you digest and empty through your bowel movement, right? So fruits are good for you. And non-salty foods. Salty foods can give you high blood pressure, and it kind of mess with your mood. Also, no gluten. Bread, pasta. You can have a little, if you just cut out completely, it'll be very helpful. But then, if you eat a little bit, I guess you won't die, right? But if you want to feel good, if you want your mood to feel good, no bread, no pasta. Protein and fat rich diet. Meats, lots of meat, bacon, pork belly, samgyeopsal, right? Steak and eggs and fish. So protein and fat rich diet will help you tremendously. So fat is so important for uh everybody, especially I heard for women, especially during pregnancy. Fat is very important. Yeah, that's what I've heard from a doctor. So protein and fat, and limit yourself from processed foods. Those foods that are created in a factory, right? Like noodles, candy, chips, soda. All these kind of processed foods are horrible for you. You can have it a little bit at a time, but then these kind of foods will mess with your mental state as well. Okay? Not just your body, but your mental state. You have mental fatigue. You'll have cloudy concentration. And for so, let's get to the conclusion. Put it into action. What you have to put it into action. Number one is take cold shower, right? What you can do, I'm scared of cold showers too. Once I get up in the morning, right? It's just like what wakes you up. But then sometimes I do it too. Sometimes I just like take a cold shower. Let's just do it. I feel like in the mood and go into the cold shower. But usually people are kind of like sensitive yet sensitive to it. So take a hot shower and then end it with a minute of cold shower. Right? Just take your hot shower or warm shower and then end it with a minute of just putting a straight cold shower. Right? It will wake you up. It's like better than coffee. Also, run. Start by steady running for 10 minutes a day and then extend the time, right? If you can't run, if you have bad joints, start by walking and speed walking. Okay. Just 10 minutes a day. It will help you tremendously. And number three, if you have been taking stimulants like caffeine or other doctor prescribed medicine, don't take stimulants for a day. Stay awake until you sleep. Just stay awake until you fall asleep. Continue to stay awake until you fall asleep. So don't take stimulants. Stay awake until you fall asleep. If you can't sleep at night, especially, don't take any stimulants for that day. Okay, so number 4, limit social media. Set a time limit, right? It's just like don't scroll every moment that you have, every time that you have. Don't go to social media, but then set a time limit, right? Total limit. I'm gonna go on social media for 10 minutes or 15 minutes a day, right? Because these are addictions, serious addictions. Also, eat only when you're hungry. Don't eat when you're bored. Don't eat when you're sad. Don't eat when you're like happy. Protein and fat rich diet, like I said. Eat only when you're hungry. Okay. Usually when you're hungry, it means like you need to drink some water. You're kind of thirsty, so just trying to drink some water. It'll kind of change up your uh your hunger. Number 6, fast once a week. Just like not the whole day, but then like 10 p.m. No, sorry. Um, 16 hours fast. Okay, like 10 p.m. to 2 p.m. Right, 10 p.m. today to 2 p.m. the next day. That is 16 hours fast. If you can't do this in the beginning, try to do, like, for me it's easier to fast in the morning, uh other than not eating at night, because if I don't eat at night, I can't fall asleep because of the carbs and those things. Because of uh what is that? If you don't eat at night, if you're fasting, you might be just awake. You might be just charged. So 16 hours of fasting, 8 hours of eating. 16 hours of fasting, 8 hours of eating. So when your body fasts, it initiates a cellular process called autophagy, meaning it's your body's eating itself. Okay. So it breaks down and recycles damaged or unnecessary components to maintain cellular health. Okay. So these things are, fasting is very good for you. Who fasted in the Bible? Daniel, right? And other many people fasted in order to receive God's guidance, but at the same time, it helps their health, right? So number 7, be authentic, right? Because the more fake, more uh more fabricated your life is, you gotta maintain those fabrication of your life. So it's gonna be so stressful. It's gonna help. It's gonna not help. Sorry. It's gonna make you feel when you're fake and when you're constantly not being yourself. You gotta be someone else. It's really stressful and it's very energy consuming. So be authentic. Just be yourself. If you're not great, just be. Don't be great. If you're not perfect, you don't have to be perfect. You're you the way you are, and God called you. You're perfect. God called you as His own. He made you perfect in Christ. So just be yourself. Don't be like, oh, they're expecting this from me. Who cares if they expect this or that from you? Just do your best, and if they don't accept it or appreciate it, that's on them, right? So be authentic. Be who you are. Don't don't wear a black jacket because everybody's wearing a black jacket, black long jacket, because everybody's wearing a black jacket, right? So be authentic. Number 8, don't run away from your problems. Don't run away from your problems. Always just deal with it. Face your problems and just deal with it. When you face your problems, when it's there, you will feel so much better after because you went through it. You've actually experienced your whole emotions and the experience. So now you don't have you don't have to keep imagining, oh, what would this happen? What would how would this come out? How would this play out? What would happen here? Can it happen this way? Can it happen that way? Right? You got to keep imagining. This is very energy consuming as well. So you got to keep making imaginations in your head, creating imaginations in your head. So it's better to face your problems, deal with it, because usually those problems, when it's dealt with it's not that bad. It's not a big of a deal. So go through with it, do it, get it done with. Yeah, you'll feel so much better after. Okay. All right. So that is conclusion. And just pleasure equals pain, and pain equals pleasure. You got to remember how this plays out, how this works. So you got to be able to balance this out. Okay. So that is what I wanted to share with you guys. Um, uh, After reading Dopamine Nation, this is the conclusion I've kind of summarized, and I hope you guys enjoyed it and put it into action when you can, because this is the only way that you can restore happiness. You can restore meaning in your life, and you can restore homeostasis. Okay. All right. I'll see you guys later. Be good. All right. Bye.